tuned into The Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
The Truth with G. The Truth with G. The Truth with G.
All right. Welcome back to the show. You're listening to The Truth with G right here on WPMM Internet Radio. I am your boy, Gerald Graham. You know me as G. Once again, we are back to talk about the issues that matter to you and your community. It is Monday, people. It is Monday. We are back on the grind. Back on the grind after the weekend. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a safe and responsible weekend. As I tell you guys all the time, we need you to have fun, but do it responsibly. Don't do anything stupid. But it's glad to have you back here on this Monday afternoon, 30th of October. We got one more day of October. Tomorrow's Halloween. Make sure those kids stay safe out there in them streets. And for any of you idiots out there that are planning to do harm to these kids in any kind of way, stay your dumb ass at home. Don't do anything stupid to these kids while they're out there trying to have fun on Halloween. So, but gotta protect our kids. Parents, make sure that you are properly supervising your kids as they are out and about. Because, again, you gotta watch out for the idiots, and at the same time, don't allow your kids to do anything stupid as well. So, if you know you're especially teenage kids, if you know they got bad intentions going out, don't let them go out. So we got to keep our little ones safe as they go out and trick or treat and do what they do, whatever, trick or treat, trunk or treat, whatever you want to call it. So just make sure they stay safe. But thanks once again for tuning in right here on The Truth with G. We are WPMM Internet Radio under the auspice of Change and Rise Media Group, LLC. It's the parent company. WPMM is where we play more music. We play the best in R&B, jazz, neo soul, talk, independent hip-hop, and old school music. You can listen from the website at WPMMradio.com. You can also go to TuneIn and iTunes. You can tell Alexa to play WPMM. She will oblige as well. You can go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and download the app. It is a free app. You can also download that app from the website as well. So make sure that you do that, and you can take that anywhere you go. If you have someone who is not tech savvy, just have them, just text them, WPMMradio.com. Just put that in the message field, WPMMradio.com, and all they have to do is click on it, hit play, and they can listen to the show as well. Good evening, Miss Savory. Good evening, good to see you on here, Miss Savory. She says, "How are you and the family?" We are good. We are blessed. Thank you. Mr. Adams said, "Describe stupidity." Mr. Adams, stupidity is going out there and do something you know you're going to jail for. That's what I call stupidity. Don't do it if you know you're going to jail for it. One is drinking and driving. If I know people do drink and drive. But if you are drinking to the point where you are impaired, it don't take much to get yourself in trouble, even if you think you're not drunk. If you have an accident, and I try to tell people this all the time, if you've been drinking and you get in an accident, and if you think that you're okay to drive, more than likely, especially at night, more than likely they're gonna give you a sobriety test. More than likely they're gonna tell you to breathe in the tube. And if you come up 1/10 of a point over the limit, you are legally intoxicated. You're legally intoxicated. And if you get in an accident, let's say if you get in an accident, you're legally intoxicated, even though you may not even feel the effects of alcohol or whatever the case may be. And the person that you have an accident with dies, that's vehicular homicide. You're going to jail 15 years minimum. So that's what I call stupid. Don't do anything stupid. It's cheaper to get a tow truck or an Uber than it is to get a DUI. I tell you, it'll make your life go a whole lot better. So, but anything I call stupid, anything that's going to get you locked up. Don't do anything that's going to get you locked up. In other words, If whatever else it is, have fun, but don't do anything that's gonna get you locked up. So let's see here. The views and opinions expressed by individual radio hosts and guests are of their own and does not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WPMM Radio. WPMM does not intend to malign with any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. Now that we got that out the way, today is Monday. And we're going to talk about a few issues. Then we're going to jump into football. And we're going to talk about football here for a minute. And we're going to jump on basketball for a hot second because there's some news coming out of the basketball world that is somewhat newsworthy. I'll talk about that here in a moment. We do got some things going on in the world that are atrocious that is going on. We still got the war going on in the Ukraine, even though that's not on the top of the media list anymore. The war in Ukraine kind of took the back seat to the war in Israel, where Hamas attacked Israel, and then Israel has waged attacks back on Hamas in Gaza, and it's just a mess over there. And the sad thing about it is innocent people are dying. Innocent civilians are dying. That's my biggest issue with this whole thing. I'm not a foreign policy expert. I don't understand the issue with Israel and Palestine. I don't know why they're fighting, but however, with Palestine, is it not the Palestinian government that is doing this? This is a terrorist group, Hamas, that attacked Israel. However, the Gaza Strip, you done heard that Gaza Strip, whatever the case may be, that stretch of land there in Israel where Hamas took over. Now Israel is in the process of bombing that. They sent out leaflets. They dropped leaflets from the sky a week or so ago and telling people to evacuate Gaza. However, people can't just leave Gaza because it's under the control of the Palestinian terror group. So they block the exits or whatnot, and then people just can't leave when they want to leave. So, but now Israel is retaliating, and they're bombing Gaza, and they're bombing places in Palestine, and they tried to accuse the Israeli government of bombing a hospital in Palestine, and it's just a bunch of chaos going on over there. But over 5,000, and this was the number a couple days ago. I haven't even got the number today, but over 5,000 are dead because of this issue, this ongoing issue between the terrorist groups in Palestine and Israel. Like I say, I wish I was a foreign policy expert, but I'm breaking it down as simplified as I can so that you can understand what's going on. The terrorist group in Palestine attacked Israel, and that war has been waging for a long time. It's been waging for a long time. So, but again, the sad part is that the civilians are the ones that are paying the price. The Hamas, the terrorists, they're kidnapping and holding hostage children, old people. They're killing children. They're cutting their heads off. They're raping the women. And it's just atrocious what's going on over there right now. And like I say, that war is taking front and center stage, even though there's a war going on in Ukraine as well. And Ukraine, we're supposed to be helping Ukraine. And I know people say, well, why are we helping other countries or whatever? You know, you have your allies and you have your foes, if you will. Your allies and your adversaries. Ukraine is an adversary, even though they're not a member of NATO. They're still an adversary because they have interests, around their borders. And with Russia going in, I know I'm jumping wars here, and I know it's hard to keep up with, but with Russia going into Ukraine and trying to take over Ukraine, that means they may extend beyond the borders and go into Poland and places like that. So we have an interest, we have NATO countries bordering Ukraine. So we have an interest there, even though they're not a member of NATO. So that's why we're funding, helping them fund their efforts to fight off Putin and his idiots. And it's just a mess. It's just a mess with the Ukraine, over in Ukraine and in Israel. Mr. Adams, he is talking about he put a comment in the comment section. He's talking about Israel. He said, has Hamas bullied the Palestinian people into taking control and has not allowed another election since 2009. So it's like I say, they took over, and they took over that land, the Gaza Strip there in Israel. They took that part over, and now they apparently seem to want to take over the whole country, if you will. But it's just a mess, and I just hate that innocent civilians are dying in that effort, and people are being bombed in their homes, and hospitals are being bombed, and electricity and water is being cut off to the civilians, and they don't have a way to escape, because you have the terrorist groups that are guarding the airports and controlling the streets or whatnot, so people can't flee, and a lot of them don't have anywhere to go, so they just hunkering down and trying to withstand the bombing, and this bombing is going on daily, especially people in Gaza. You got innocent people in Gaza, even though they're there under duress. Most of them are there under duress because they can't go anywhere else. And for Israel to go in and try to, supposedly they're strategically, I can't say the word right now. I'm sleepy, y'all. But their strategy is to bomb the terrorist sites, if you will. But most of those terror sites are underground, which are under where his population is, under where civilians are. So they have to bomb the civilians to get to the terrorists, to get to the bunkers and whatnot, so it's just a mess. It's just a mess. And if anybody have any other information than what I'm putting out, I'm just trying to break it down and give it to you, simplify it, so you kind of know what's going on. Trying to be a foreign affairs expert is not easy, because you have to understand the ins and outs, and do understand that our government is obligated to fund our allies, these NATO countries. Even though other countries are in NATO, they are also responsible as well as funding these efforts, and especially when they get attacked. Most countries of NATO are not the countries that are going to invade or attack any other countries. They're only going to defend their countries. That's what it's about. NATO is about peace. And you have countries like Russia and North Korea and those places that are not in NATO, because they're not looking for peace. They are looking for war. But just trying to give you a little spiel. Just trying to give you a little understanding of what's going on over there. So, but that's it. That's what's going on over there. And the money, I know you say, well, why are you sending money to Israel? Why are you sending money to Ukraine? And we got people here in the United States that are suffering. It's because of the treaties that has been signed, the NATO agreement, things of that nature. And that's how government works. So anyway, Mr. Adams put another comment in. He said, we gave funding the Ukraine government. It's not like we're giving them money for nothing. What happens is that we give them our old stuff and we make more. Therefore, our economic situation gets better. Remember, I'm not understanding lastly. That's the last sentence. They make beans and bullets. We do. Remember, they don't make bombs and bullets. We do. Okay. I understand. Yeah, it is an economic boost for us, because we have to make the stuff to send to them, and we do send them our existing equipment, and we make new equipment, just like we sent those fighter jets over there. And, we finally got that signed off on to send fighter jets over there, and they're sending ammunition over there, and all that does is create more jobs and opportunity for people in the States that are employed with these places that makes these bombs and whatnot. It keeps the economy going. But war is not we don't want to rely on war to keep the economy going either. But that's the way it is. We are living in a capitalistic society. So any way money can be made, they're gonna make it. I promise you that. So also we are, and I'd be remiss, we have one more day remaining in the month of October. And no, it's not just Halloween. It's coming to the end of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We might need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, men and women, because men and women get breast cancer. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people are ignorant to the fact, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory sense. A lot of people are not aware that men can get breast cancer. I think the number, I think 4 out of 10 women will get breast cancer, and maybe 1 out of every 10 men may suffer from breast cancer. Some, those numbers may be slightly off, but it's something to that effect. So, but men can get breast cancer as well. So do your self-examinations. Early detection is the key. Do your breast exams on the regular. Make sure that you're going to get your mammograms done and sonograms. They got the new technology now. I think they're doing sonograms, some type of sonogram on it's a new procedure that they're doing as well. Make sure you get that. Don't wait till you're 50. Do not wait till you're 50 years old to start getting your mammograms and things of that nature and start doing your breast exam. Some women don't want to feel on themselves, but I'm sure there's a man out there, whether it's your husband, boyfriend, or somebody else, that wouldn't mind giving you a breast exam and, telling you if you got any lumps or anything that's feel out the ordinary. And when they tell you, don't just take that information and leave it alone. Go get it checked. Go get it checked out, because early detection is the key. The earlier they can get to it and treat it, the better off you're going to be. Don't let it get to a stage 4 situation where you're facing death. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you do your breast exam. And, I'm not going to tell my whole story today, but most of you know who listen to this show. And people who don't listen to the show, that's on their first time. My wife is a breast cancer survivor, and she was diagnosed in November of 2009. She was diagnosed with breast cancer, stage 3 breast cancer. Here it is. We are in October of 2023, and she is still alive and well. She is still kicking. We're cancer free, and that's because it was caught early enough to where it could be treated, and that's the key. Miss Minnie Watkins has joined us on Facebook. Good to see you tonight, Miss Minnie. Thank you so very much for joining in. It's Monday Madness. We're going to be talking football here in just a moment. Other things in the news real quick. The situation with the mass shooting there in Maine. 18 people killed, 13 people injured in that shooting. The shooting took place in 2 different locations at a bowling alley and a bar, I think it was. People just hanging out, having a good time or whatever, and next thing you know, that they are being shot and killed. The person that when I reported this last time, they were looking for the individual that committed this heinous crime, and they actually found that individual. And I said on the show last Thursday, when I did the show, I said that individual was dead. It hadn't been reported that he was dead. Nobody knew he was dead. They hadn't even found him. But I told you guys that he was dead, because the manhunt was too extensive for him to hide anywhere. He didn't have anywhere to go. And I said that they would not find that man alive. And a couple days later, they found him, and he was not alive. He had already killed himself. They say he had been dead for a couple of days, so apparently he had killed himself just 1 or 2 days after he committed this massacre of these 18 people that died and 13 that were injured. And they showed I forgot the caliber of bullet that he used, but they showed it, and it's, that oh my God, I can just imagine. Well, I can't imagine being hit with a round such as that. and the rounds that he was shooting and the weapon that he was shooting, it was a Ruger. I guess you'd say it's a SFAR, SFAR rifle, and the ammo that particular weapon takes. You look at the round or the bullet, if you want to call it a bullet. You look at the bullet, and the bullet alone just looks menacing. That type of bullet is used to hunt big game. And I'm thinking about the people that survived. Unfortunately, the people that died, hopefully they didn't suffer very long. This, it's not a good thing to die, but I hope they didn't suffer. But the people that survived this, they had to endure the pain of getting hit by that round. And I forget the caliber, but it was a Ruger SFAR, SFAR was the weapon. I'm trying to find the name of the round that he used in this gun. And with the people that were killed, people range anywhere from 14 to I think 76 years old that were killed. But there were signs that this individual had issues, and we're not going to blame it on just mental issues. We're going to blame it on the fact that he had access to these guns, and he had access to rounds that are used for, that was supposed to be that's used to kill. They used to kill large objects or large animals, if you will. So imagine. It's designed to kill, animals big as elephants. And just imagine it hitting one of these, 79-year-old old people or a 14-year-old kid. Just imagine that round hitting them. So, but he, there won't be any justice, if you will, in that case, because the killer took justice in his own hands and determine his own fate. So there won't be any trials or anything of that nature. So and they only going to try to piece together a motive as to why this person done this. Apparently this individual had issues prior to the shooting. At one point he was committed to a mental institution, if you will. And but here's the thing with people: you can't arrest somebody for a crime that hasn't happened yet. Now, if you are in the planning of a crime, if you are planning a crime, you can be convicted of a conspiracy, if you will. Conspiracy to commit crime. That's planning a crime. But if they can't, law enforcement can't just go and arrest you because you say, I can sit here tonight and say I'm gonna rob a bank. Police can't come arrest me because I said I'm gonna rob a bank. They gotta wait until I rob the bank to come get me. They can't come in and arrest me and say you said on your show that you're gonna rob a bank, so we're gonna arrest you because you said. No, they can't do that. I actually have to go rob the bank before they can arrest me. Or if I got plans and I got the layout of the bank written down or what have you, and I got saying that on this date I'm gonna commit this robbery and do this, and I'm gonna go in this door and whatever the case may be, and they see that in a manifesto or something somewhere, then I can be arrested and charged with a conspiracy. But if that's not the case, they can't arrest me for sitting here saying I'm going to rob a bank. So that's how that works. But anyway, we do have a new speaker, a new dumbass speaker, Speaker of the House, which I think I'd rather have McCarthy back, even though McCarthy was an idiot as well. I'd rather have McCarthy back than have Mike Johnson as the Speaker of the House. Mike Johnson is a religious fanatic. He's an idiot. He's election denier. He voted. He doesn't believe that a 12-year-old rape victim should have an abortion. They should carry the rapist child. He was part of the January 6th process, if you will, because he signed off on trying to overthrow the government, and now they put him as speaker. So we would have been better off keeping McCarthy than to have this idiot as the speaker. The government shutdown is looming. We have about 3 weeks before the government shut down, and right now we got to get legislation through. And with this particular individual, the way he has voted in the past, we probably won't get any type of bipartisan reconciliations, if you will. We're not going to get it because this person is an idiot. He votes on the far right. He has the control over what comes to the floor and what does not come to the floor. So it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a complete mess. And that's because we are not voting like we should. And we allowed the Republicans to take over the House, and they're going to do all the damage possible before they lose control of the House. And hopefully in 2024 they will lose control of the House. If we get out and vote, Democrats and people with common sense, even Republicans with common sense, if we get out and vote like we should and get these idiots out of office and out of control, in control of our government, then maybe we can make some progress. So, but anyway, also a little basketball note, and I'm talking about this because of the legal implications. Everybody has a right to like who they like and do what they do and do who they do. Everybody has that right. But it's being reported in the news about Dwight Howard, who is the NBA player that has played with several teams. I don't know if he's still playing right now or who he's playing with. But, you know, there's allegations of sexual misconduct that are out there where he is being sued or, you know, prosecuted or whatever you want to call it. And it happens to be where he sexually assaulted another man. The allegations is alleged that he has sexually assaulted a man. And it came from, you know, not to go into the details, but it's rather interesting. As far as his sexual preference or whatever, that's not really a concern of mine. Even though I've always thought Dwight Howard was I always thought Dwight Howard liked men, so but it didn't surprise me for this to come out the way it did. And you know, he apparently contacted someone on social media or whatever, and hit him up in his DMs, and they met up. And once they met up, apparently there's, you know, when he was supposed to meet one person, and he already had another individual with him that was going to join him, and the person that met up with him wasn't in agreement. Allegedly, wasn't in agreement with doing anything with the third person in the room, and he says he was forced to do things that he didn't want to do, and that's where the allegation come in. Again, whatever your sexual preference is, whatever you want to do you. But when it comes to forcing someone, whether it is male, female, you know, whatever case may be, that's where you get in trouble. That's where you get in trouble. And I don't advocate anybody anywhere to force somebody to do anything against their will. I don't care how freaky you are or whatever the case may be. Don't force anybody to do anything against their will. So Dwight Howard is in the hot seat right now in the media, and that's what's going on there. All right, if you're just joining us, Monday Madness, we just hit some of the hot news of the day. Now we are going to jump into Monday Night Football talk. We're going to talk about the scores over the weekend And we had a couple of big games. And we're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about the college scores, and then we're going to go over the pro scores as well. And let me know what your team did. If you're out there listening, let me know if your team won or whatever this weekend, whether it's college or pro. Even if you want to throw in your high school team or your little league team, put it in the comment section. Let me know. We'll talk about it on there as well. So in the college world, let's talk about somebody that's not ranked right now, and that is Colorado. They suffered another defeat on Saturday, and which is not surprising. It's not surprising that they lost a game. I never thought that they were going to go undefeated and win every game. Did I still think they'll be bowl eligible? I think they still have a good chance to be bowl eligible, and that's a big improvement from last year. The last year Colorado team only won one game, and right now they've won 4. I think they're 4-4 right now, I believe. They're on a skid, obviously, but they're playing teams that outrank them. And 9 times out of 10, if you playing a team that's ranked, and you unranked, whatever, it's hard to beat those teams. But they competed, and they didn't get to win, but they competed. So they're up and coming. So I never expected Deion to go in there and be God, if you will, and just turn the program around just like that. He got a couple years to work with him. I think by year 3, I think he had been recruited enough and got enough dogs over there to where he can do what he can do. Mr. Adams, and I was about to talk about that. He said first he put his Eagles up there. He's an Eagle fan, and I like Hurts. I like y'all quarterback. I like him a lot. Let's see, but you said the Colorado have no offensive line. That is so true. They do not have an offensive line. They're 2 more wins away from being bowl eligible. They got to win 6 games to be bowl eligible in a 12-game season. They have 4 games left. They should have 4 games left. And with 4 games, they got to win 2 of them. I'm not sure exactly what their schedule is. I know they have Utah on their schedule. Utah is going to be hard to beat. I'm not going to give them the Utah game, but the other ones, they may have an opportunity. But I'm not going to give them the Utah game, especially with the way they've been playing. So hopefully they get there. I would love them to see them in a bowl game. It'll be good for whatever city they play in. It'll be revenue out the yin yang coming to whatever that city is, because Deion gonna feel the stand. So he definitely is going to feel the stand. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna keep out in. Okay, so starting with the scores, number 1 Georgia beat up on the poor Florida Gators. Poor Gator fans. Y'all having it rough this year. Y'all are 5-3. You're 3-2 in the conference. You're having a rough year. 5-3, and you're gonna lose a couple more coming down the stretch. You will lose to Florida State. You will lose to Florida State. My Seminoles will prevail over you. So, but Georgia beat Florida 43-20. Florida didn't score their points. They scored 13 points in the 4th quarter, and by then, Georgia had the 5th string in, and the mascot had taken the uniform on and put a football uniform on, and a couple of cheerleaders was on the field, and Florida was able to score twice in the 4th quarter against the mascot and the manager and the cheerleaders, because they suited up, because everybody else had played by that time. So they gave them, they gave a couple of fans an opportunity to play too, and the fans that they chose, they were in their 60s. So They allowed 2 scores, but anyway, poor Florida fans. Y'all gonna be okay one day. Okay, Ohio State, number 3. Ohio State beat Wisconsin 24-10. That game was I'm not gonna say it was. I forgot Mr. Adams is a Florida fan. He's a Gator. You need to jump on the train with Malia. She root for the team. She root for the team. So Ohio State beat Wisconsin 24-10. Now that was, they won by 14, but you expect Ohio State to win a little bigger than that because they ranked number 3. Florida State beat up on Wake Forest 41-16. Looks like Florida State did all their damage in the first half. They kind of squandered it in the second half. They put up 7 points in the second half. By hand, I'm sure they played the 5th string as well. Not taking anything away from the 5th string, but when you take the Heisman Trophy winner out and the one of the top receivers, a couple of top receivers in the country out of the game, whatever, and take that offensive line that's been protecting Travis, take all them out and put your 2nd string and 3rd string and 4th string in there. You may not score as much, but we still prevail. We still hung in there. Washington beat Stanford 42-33. Washington, number 5, is still undefeated. They're still not undefeated. They're ranked number 5. So at the top, you got Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, and Washington. Those are the only unbeatens remaining in the in Division One in the FBS. Only remaining undefeateds. Oklahoma lost to Kansas 38-33. Texas won over BYU 35-6. Oregon won over Utah, and even though Utah is struggling, they're 6-2, but they lost to the number 18. Oregon 35-6 there. Penn State beat Indiana 33-24. That was much closer than most people would have thought it was, since Penn State is ranked number 10. They were 6-1 at the time. They're 7-1 now. Indiana was 2-5 coming into this game. So people expected a bigger game out of Penn State, but they only weren't able to muster a 9-point win. Oregon State lost to Arizona 27-24. Ole Miss over Vanderbilt 33-7. And then we had Notre Dame over Pittsburgh 58-7. And, Pittsburgh was 2-6, so don't get me so excited over that. Notre Dame fans, they beat a team that's struggling. North Carolina slid a little bit. They let Georgia Tech beat them by 4 points, 46-42. But North Carolina is still they're 6-2. They're 3-2 in the conference. Duke, I don't know what happened to Duke over the weekend, and they're taking their 3rd loss of the season. It's like they forgot how to play this game. They lost to Louisville 23-0. They weren't able to do anything in that game, so that's kind of surprising. So I didn't see the comments. I wanted to see the comments on that because I wanted to see what the analysts were saying about Duke's quarterback, because they've been praising him forever and ever and a day, and touting him as one of the best quarterbacks in the game, whatever. But they put up a goose egg there, and I wasn't able to see the highlights and the commentary to see what they were saying about Duke's quarterback. Air Force beat Colorado State 30-13. And I take that back. In the top, Air Force is actually ranked number 19, but they're unbeaten. But they ranked number 19 based on the strength of schedule. So I misspoke earlier when I said that those 5 were the only ones remaining undefeated. You do have Air Force in there that's undefeated as well. Tennessee 33-27 over Kentucky. Tennessee's ranked number 21. They are 3-2 in the SEC as well. Tulane over Rice by 2 points, 30-28. Colorado fell to UCLA 28-16. ULA was ranked number 23. So again, Colorado lost to a ranked team. So you can't, you expect a ranked team to be able to beat the unranked. USC pulled one out by the hair of their chinny chin, 50-49. USC is 7-2, but they're not looking very good. Even though they got the Heisman Trophy winner from last year on the team, they're not looking like they're supposed to. And then we have James Madison 30-27 over Old Dominion. So those are the scores. And with that, on tomorrow, the first FBS poll comes out tomorrow. And it's going to rank the top 4. Well, it's going to give us the top 4 as it stands right now. And it's going to be interesting because out of the top 5, you have 5 teams that are undefeated in the top, which is Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, and Washington. Those are the top 5. So somebody, as a week 10, I think we in, somebody's going to be left out. Even though they're undefeated, only 4 teams can get in. I'm waiting for them to expand this playoff situation because I don't think 4 teams is enough to represent and to have a realistic for people to have a realistic shot at the championship. So hopefully they expand this 4-game playoffs into at least 8 games. Take the top 8. So. But somebody's going to be left out. It's going to be interesting. The poll will come out tomorrow, and we're going to see who are the top 4 as of week 10. And my nose better be in there. Because we looking good. We got one of the front runners for the Heisman Trophy, and Travis, Jordan Travis. At quarterback, he's done moved up as far as one of the front runners for the Heisman. So we better be sitting pretty when it comes to this poll when it comes out tomorrow. If we're not, it's gonna be hell to pay. So, but again, if you're out there listening, drop your team into the comments. Let me know who you're reading for, college or pro, and let me know how your team did over the weekend. Let me shout out to University of North Alabama. My son plays at University of North Alabama. They played Austin Peay University yesterday in Clarksville, Tennessee. Watched the game, and in the first half, it looks like it was going to be a complete blowout because Austin Peay was up 29-6 at halftime, and it just looked like it was going to be a complete blowout. However, University of North Alabama did make a surge in the second half, and they were able to come back. They got the score within 7 points. They're late in the fourth quarter. They were within 7 points with like 3-4 minutes left on the clock. They got within 7, and they went on a drive, and they didn't wasn't able to score on that one drive that they had there at the end, and Austin Peay University got the ball back, and they were able to drive to get a field goal, which put them up 10 points. And then our last drive stalled. And, but they made a game of it. They made a game in the FCS. In the FCS, Austin Peay is ranked number 19, I think it is, number 18 or 19 in the FCS. And UNA is unranked. So for them to stage a comeback like that, that just shows that they just never gave up. Even though they were down and looking bleak at the half, they never gave up, and they fought their way back. So FAMU won on Saturday as well. Alabama State and Alabama A&M played, and I think Alabama State won that game in the Magic City Classic up there in Birmingham. And these are off the top of my head. I don't have the HBCU scores with me, but I think it was Alabama State that beat A&M in the Magic City Uh, yeah, my son reunited with Brennan, his college, I know his high school teammate. Him and Brennan did 3 years at Escambia together. They was on the state team that went to state and played Miami Central there. That undefeated season that they had at Escambia Cup 3 or 4 years ago. Both of them was part of that offense, that great offensive line that was blocking for Pizan. That's his name. Frank Pizan is still playing at Middle Tennessee. Um, uh, oh, he said Brendan ate many meals here. Yeah, Brendan's a good kid. He's a good kid. I saw him after the game, and he came and hugged me, and yeah, Brendan's a good kid. He's a good kid. Him and Amir been or the big dog, as you guys know him. Him and Amir been friends forever, and Brendan posted on his page the pictures of them after the game out there on the field, and and the caption was "Brothers forever" or "Brothers for life" or something to that effect. And they are real good friends, and I appreciate good friends like that. They help each other through their college years. Before Amir got to college, Brendan got there a year before Amir did, and Brendan was just letting them know how the college life was going to be and what to do, what not to do, and whatever the case may be. And they communicate on a regular. They even talk right before the game, and it's all about brotherhood with them too. So if you're wondering who I'm talking about, go to my Facebook page. You'll see where I posted pictures of the after the game with Amir and Brendan Smith, both players out of Escambia High School. And like I say, off that championship team, you got a lot of Escambia Gators that are playing college ball right now. But anyway, let's move on to let's go over these. Let's go over what the pros are doing. Let's see. Monday tonight we got the Lions and the Raiders. The Raiders are not doing very well. They're 3-4 right now. The Lions are 5-2. They're having a decent season so far. We'll see. We will see. We had a Thursday night game. Where the Bills and the Bucks played 24-18. The Bills won over the Tampa Bay. John said if Coach Spears would have been at Escambia, Baba would have been there at Escambia. You about right about that one. Okay, so I hate it when the Cowboys win, even though I'm a closet Cowboy fan. I'm gonna stay in the closet until Jerry Jones go away. But the Cowboys won over the Rams 43-20. And the thing I hate about Cowboys winning because Cowboy fans just don't know how to act. They win and they act like they ain't never won before. Somebody said, when you win or when you do something great, act like you've been there before. And these Cowboy fans just lose their mind every time Cowboys win, especially these games that they should win. You beat a good team, then I'll give you kudos. But when you go in and beat a average team or a one win team or something like that, and then you act like you done something, like you done won a Super Bowl. Just take the win and be happy for it and move on. Miss John said we're gonna get that ass on there. So I'm assuming that the Cowboys play the Eagles this Sunday. That'll be an interesting game to see. I'm rooting for the Eagles. So let's see. We got the Vikings and the Packers. The Vikings won over the Packers 24-10. Packers are 2-5. They're not having a good season. Vikings are 4-4. The Falcons fell to the Titans 28-23. The Saints got the win over the Colts. and they're 4-4 now, 38-27 over the Colts. Then we have the Dolphins. They won over the Patriots, which I'm glad the Patriots are still losing. Patriots are 2-6. I might root for the Patriots when Belichick leave, because I think Belichick has been overrated all these years. I think he just had, the front office put him a good team out there. I don't think it was Belichick that was winning, because he don't have all the superstars, and it's showing that he is an average coach when he don't have a group of superstars. I like a coach that can take average players and make them great. But anyway, that's just my take on that. The Giants fell to the Jets. No surprise there. The Giants fell to 2-6. It seems like they're going to repeat the woes that they have been having over the last few years. The Jets are having a good season based on the fact that they thought that season was over. They thought that season was over after the Golden Child went down. They thought that season was over. But they're doing what they got to do. They're trying to make a season out of it. They're 4-3 now. Let's see. Then we had the Steelers fell to the Jaguars, 20-10. Both of the Jaguars moved to 6-2, and the Steelers fall to 4-3. Eagles over the Commanders, 38-31. The Eagles are 7-1. The Bears got to do something. For John put Bears deserve better. Bears got to do something. They got to do something. I don't know what's going on with them. They're a long ways away from the Super Bowl shuffle. Back in the days of the Ditka and the refrigerator, they're a long way from that. And McMahon and all them guys back in the day. But Panthers 15-13 over the Texans. Then we had the Seahawks 24-20 over the Browns. By the way, the Panthers are 1-6. They finally got a win. And the Texans had to be the one that they beat to get their first win. But the Seahawks 24-20 over the Browns. Kansas City went down again for their second loss, 24-9 over the Broncos, which is very, very surprising. That is extremely surprising, almost breathtaking. Then we have the Ravens over the Cardinals, 31-24. 49ers fell again. They fell to the Bengals, 31-17. And the Bears, 30-13 loss over the Chargers. So that's what's happening in pro football. Geno Smith is balling. Geno up there in Seattle. Yeah, Geno doing his thing. Geno sat behind Russell up there in Seattle, and he got his chance to shine once they moved old Russell Wilson down to Denver. And, Broncos ain't doing much of nothing. They're 3-5. They're 3-5. So but anyway, that's the scores. And like I said, tonight it is the Raiders and the Lions tonight. They should be kicking off here in just a few minutes. So I'm probably gonna watch me some football. I didn't see any football all weekend. I wasn't. It's supposed to be two Pensacola kids that are one for the. Yeah, it's supposed to be Pensacola. And in one game where two Pensacola kids was on opposing sides, Wellspoon and dang it, forgot the other kid name. That's my fault, y'all. I'm sorry. God, I forget his name. But anyway, that's a football wrap up. That's a football wrap up. Also, we're already hit the top of the hour, so it's time for me to wrap it up as well. Time for me to wrap it up, and appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I will be back on Thursday night once again for the issues that matter. Contemplating a vacation here at some point in time because I'm tired. I am tired. I need some rest and relaxation. So I will keep you guys posted when I am planning to take some time off. Probably take a full week. But I got other things going on. And I gotta dedicate a little bit more time because my brain is going to be overloaded coming up here soon, and new ventures I got going on, new positions, new things going on that I got to really train my brain on. And but I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on with that. But as it stands right now, I'll be here Thursday night. So make sure you join me Thursday. Make sure in the meantime that you guys stay safe. Stay responsible. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything stupid, please, because I want to see you on the other side. I want to see you come Thursday night right here on WPMM Internet Radio. But for now, it's time for me to get out of here. See you guys Thursday. Once again, you guys be safe. Y'all be blessed. And I am out of here.